families and our relatives. And till today, see, for the past 7 days, our relatives remain DSS at the headquarters. We went to the headquarters today, and the headquarters attempted to arrest me. There is security officers. There is security officers to jail. But I want to put it to you. Because I believe you are parents, sir. You are parents. If you have a young person in detention and you attempt to protect such, and such a church uses security officers to intimidate you, how would you feel? And that's why we have come here, and people are also doing this across Dunamis branches to vent our anger against the Dunamis church, arresting our church member, arresting Christians, fellow Christians who came to the church to express themselves. As much as I know, and you would agree with me that people have a right to protest. People have a right to express themselves.
But you have trouble around it. Not a place.
Now we are doing this across all the branches. So this is a medium for us to express ourselves and then send a message through their branch to the GO, to Pastor Enenche, to immediately swing into action and ensure that our colleagues, our friends and families are released from detention. If not, next Sunday we are going to continue to do this across all Dunamis, Dunamis branch. Greater Nigerian people! Greater Nigerian people! What do we want? Freedom! What do we want? Free Harry!
Buhari must go! Buhari must go!
Abin da nake gayawa shine wannan kasan ba ta da wata dokan da ake ajiyewa. Inda akwai doka da ba a kama mutanen da suka fita zanga-zanga domin su gan cewa Najeriya ta samu yanci ba. Inda a ce kasan nan tana da dama, ta ba ma kowane ɗan kasa dama, da ba a kama Comrade Larry da Comrade Victor da Comrade Manasseh a Dunamis Church ba. Kuma wannan church din wurin bauta ne wanda kowa da kowa zai iya je yayi bauta. Wa'innan yaran sun je yin bauta ne wa Allahnsu. Inda gaske ne Paul Enenche yana bautan Allah ne, bai kamata ya ɗauke yaran nan ya ci musu mutunci, ya duke su, ya ji musu ciwo, ya sake ɗaukar su ya ba ma DSS na Najeriya wa'inda tun damun suna jira ne kawai su gan cewa an kawo musu nama su ci. To mu ba za mu yi hakuri ba. Ba za mu zauna mu gan cewa ana takura mana yancinmu ba. Ya kamata tun yanzu a bamu yancinmu. Idan ba za a bamu yancinmu ba, muna ba da kwana 7 za mu sake shiga Dunamis Church mu je mu gaya musu cewa abin da suka yi bai daidai ba idan ba su sake mana mutanenmu guda 5 ba. Na ƙarshen abin da zan ga yake
ƙari da jawabin da ɗan uwana ya yi akan wannan ƙasar namu. Gaskiya wato wannan ƙasar namu ta lalace zuwa yanda talaka shi yake shan wahala, ko ba haka ba? In ka zo ta wani bangare za ka samu kayan abinci yau ya yi tsada, rayuwa ya yi tsada, talaka na shan wahala. Mun fito muna magana akan gaskiya ne, akan yanci dai shi ne dai abin da muke magana, yancinmu shi ne muke magana a kai. Amma ya zama mun zama mu ne 'yan ta'adda, bayan ga 'yan ta'adda nan gwamnati ita ne 'yan ta'adda. Kuma amma mu da muka fito muna magana akan aiman adalci, an ce da mu 'yan ta'adda ne, an kama 'yan uwanmu akan babu komai saboda mutum ya sa riga, wannan riga waye isa. Ka je masallaci, ka je coci da duk kayan da ubangiji kake da shi, ubangiji zai karba addu'a'in ka da shi, ka je ka yi bautan ubangiji. Amma saboda 'yan uwanmu sun je coci, mun je masallaci da wannan kayan, an haɗa mu da ma'aikata, an kama mu, an ci mana mutunci. To gaskiya wannan abin ya yi yawa, ko ba haka ba? Muna magana akan gwamnati su duba. In gwamnati ba za ta duba ba, mu fa matasa fa muna nan ba gudu ba ja da baya, kuma babu tsoro in dai akan wannan yanci ne. Gaskiya wannan shugaba namu wai shi Baba Buhari, ni da kai da kowa ma za su ce Buhari ba barawo bane, ko Buhari ba waye bane. Buhari barawo ne saboda me yasa? Ya san masu yin satan nan, kuma suna nan suna tafiya tare da shi akan gwamnatin. in shi ba ɓarawo bane ya san masu yi ya sauke su komai ya tafi daidai saboda mu talaka rayuwa yi mana sauki. Ina ga shi ne iya bayanin da zan yi. Dan Allah dan Annabi a sake mana yan uwanmu ba dan halin mu ba.
Kuma da wani karin bayani an kama wani ina Kano wanda ya fita yana magana akan yancin sa
yancin nan da
yancin nan kaɗai shi ne ina Kano ya fita yana nema amma kuma ba a sake shi.
Buhari ya shiga 3-15
kuma muna kare gayawa cewa idan Buhari bai sake ina Kano
Buhari munafiki
idan bai sake
banza.
mutane da aka kama a gidan Sunday Igboho ba idan bai sake waɗanda aka kama a Kaduna ba idan bai sake idan bai sake yan SAS protesters ba to wallahi shi munafiki ne kuma shi banza ne.
Pressmen, we appreciate you for deeming it fit to be here today. Our statement is titled, Release Dunamis 5, Protest Remains Democratically Permitted Anywhere, Anytime, and Any Day in Nigeria. A press statement, for the sake of justice and posterity, it has become pertinent to clear the air on the realities surrounding the arrest and detention of 5 congregants putting on shirts inscribed with Buhari Must Go at the Dunamis International Gospel Center on Sunday, 4th July 2021. On the above said date, 10 youths attended Sunday's church service at the Dunamis International Church, known as the Dome, at Tr0uble area of Abuja, with t-shirts inscribed with Buhari Must Go. And as a culture of the church, when it was time for first-timers to step out, they did peacefully step out to receive prayers, and the church ushers who also offered them welcome gifts and Holy Communion. In the course of this, one of them, Emmanuel Larry, who is a freelance journalist, captured the moment on Facebook Live video. It appears that the symbolic protest carried out by the young persons met the wrong side of the church management, who quickly alerted the church security outfits to accost them on their way out of the church premises. As soon as a batch of these young people departed and the other was waiting for a car to ferry them, a set of furious church security guards approaching them unleashed violence to arrest and forcibly imprison them within the church facility, and thereafter invited the State Security Service, also known as DSS, to take custody of them for reasons only known to the church. During the course of this unfortunate event, Emmanuel Larry, the journalist among them, was coerced to delete the live video, which he had earlier made. These allegations would definitely be supported with video interviews, which will be available to pressmen after this interview, wherein a church member, attested to this laid down fact. You would agree with us that the arrest and continued detention of these courageous young people have no basis in law and are contravention of their fundamental human rights to freedom of expression, assembly, and freedom of movement, as guaranteed under Section 39, 40, and 41, respectively, in the Nigerian Constitution, and other international conventions and treaties to which Nigeria is party to. Moreover, as we speak, a group of lawyers have filed the enforcement of the fundamental human rights of the detained persons in a joint suit involving the DSS, who is holding illegally in custody, and the DSS Director General, including Pastor P0lice, the senior pastor in charge of Dunamis International Gospel Center, who handed them for arrest. For the records, it is important to state that since the unfortunate event, which happened 5 days ago, the detained young people have been denied access to their lawyer and close family, even though they have not committed any crime known to law. You would recall that the National Assembly earlier debated a 5 years jail time for alleged unlawful protesters. While we condemn all forms of an attempt by the Muhammadu Buhari regime to attack and stifle free speech, either by outright impunity or by legislative rascality, we call on the lawless entity called Department of State Services to immediately and unconditionally release Emmanuel Larry, Henry Uwondo, Samuel Gabriel, Ben Manasseh, and Enenche, as protest remains lawful and democratically permitted in Nigeria. In conclusion, as part of our commitment to the fight against injustice as a group, we use this opportunity to also condemn the regime for its heinous violations of the rights of Nigerian citizens who are agitating for the respect for human rights to life, dignity, and self-determination rights. Such as the case of Nnamdi Kanu, who was tortured and unlawfully repatriated from Kenya. Sheikh El-Zakzaki, whose arbitrary detention has spanned over 2,000 days. Oduduwa Republic agitators, whose house was invaded and resulting to the extrajudicial killing of 2 persons and continued illegal detention of 13 persons. And NSAS activists wallowing in detention. It should be noted that human rights are sacred under the law and they remain guaranteed and protected. We therefore call for the immediate and unconditional release of all these individuals and those not mentioned but are facing unjust punishment. To reiterate, if these releases, however, are not done in the next 7 days, a mass nationwide action will be called to press home these demands and to compel the government to heed to the voice of justice. Signed by Take It Back Movement, Nigeria.
This is just a symbolic action to show that we are not going to beg or to appeal for the release of our comrades. We have started a legal battle and we will continue it with the political actions. Thank you very much.
We are here to inform all Nigerians that Nigeria is no longer a democratic nation. It has become a banana republic. It's being governed with iron fist. We have full-blown tyranny. We have a despot in government today named Muhammadu Buhari, and they are making no pretense about it. But why this is very, very despicable is that a church is involved. A church has colluded with the Nigerian state to hand over innocent protesters to the lawless state security services that styled itself as DSS. So we have met with the pastor and discovered that he was playing games with us. He lied, and I'm emphasizing it. He lied that his church security was not involved in the arrest. But we have ample evidence that not only did they get involved, they actually physically brutalized these protesters simply because they were wearing the kind of t-shirt I'm wearing now to church. And if it is true, as they claim, that they had no hand in it, why didn't they issue a statement, a condemnation, saying that the DSS must release these people? There's no of such communication to the public from the church. And I've also heard some people who are saying that, oh, why don't they go to mosque? Well, I think it is also a way of demonizing Islam. Yes. To say that if you go to church or mosque to fight against oppression, the members of this mosque will beat you up. That's a demonization of Islam. Because I've seen a lot of Muslims fight against oppression. The Shiites are fighting every day against oppression in this country. I know of Muslim clerics who condemn the Buhari regime. Yes. Why are we demonizing them by saying, oh, why don't you wear the t-shirt to mosque? You know, everybody in this country is tired of the Buhari regime, and they are at liberty to wear whatever they want to church or mosque, either on Friday or on Sunday. The question we should be asking is, why is it a crime to even engage in protest? Whether it's in a church, in a mosque, or in a school, and you now know. Ask about what El-Rufai did to students who were protesting on campus. Did those ones go to church as well? They killed them because they were fighting against increase in school fees. What did the Shiites do when they were killed? Or they are being killed on a daily basis? Because they are protesting. I just want to submit there that our position is very clear. And this impunity cannot continue. And that was extended to Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, who was kidnapped and extraordinarily renditioned into Nigeria, blindfolded and brought before a judge, and is in detention, as far as we are concerned, illegally. It involves El-Zakzaki, who has been in detention for almost 6 years now. simply because members of his church were protesting and they claimed they blocked the road and they touched the chest of a general. We killed over 300 of them. This also includes members of the agitators of Yoruba who were picked up in the middle of the night when the SSS engaged in a murderous invasion of Sunday Igboho's house in Ibadan. And NSAS members who are still wallowing in detention, as well as students in Kaduna who recently were engaged in peaceful protests against school fees, who have been languishing in detention now for almost 2 weeks.
For clarification, you say the protest will be holding at the Dynamis Church.
Definitely, a protest will be holding at Dynamis Church. We are going to call on, responsible Nigerians, people who understand the, importance of human rights, because we can see clearly, this is let's be honest, as Christians, I'm not a Christian, but, as Christians, for us to be honest, we understand that this is clear violation of people's human rights. And so, the right response to this is a protest, a resistance. And so, this has, fueled our decision to protest on Sunday.
Buhari ya shiga uku sha biyar.
Kuma muna kare gayawa cewa idan Buhari bai sake Nnamdi Kanu ba, idan bai sake mutane da ya kama a gidan Sunday Igboho ba, idan bai sake wa'inda aka kama a Kaduna ba, idan bai sake 'yan makaranta ba, idan bai sake 'yan SAS protesters ba, to wallahi shi munafiki ne.